Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us for the March version of Fluid Conversations. So Fluid Conversations are an opportunity for anyone to join us and find out what's going on in the Fluid Motion headquarters within this month. And this year's month's topic is about becoming a trustee. So we're in the process at the moment of recruiting trustees to join our board. So Lee, do you want to give us a little bit of background info about what the company is?
Yes, hi everyone, I'm Lee, I'm the Artistic Director of Fluid Motion and one of the co-founders along with Ali, who's the Executive Director. So I'll give you a little bit of an overview about what Fluid Motion does, what we're about, how long we've been running, what sort of work we've done, and what our new 3-year programme plan is. So we formed in 2010, in April 2010, and originally we were doing lots of work with young people. We ran youth theatres across Hampshire. And we're really committed in the early days to using theatre to build confidence and self-esteem. And then as the years moved on, we started working with various different groups of people, from unemployed adults to people affected by drug and alcohol misuse. Worked in prisons, worked with lots of different groups, and we found that the work we were doing was really helping people to talk about their mental health, and the skills that we were giving people through our workshops and performances and the awareness raising that we were doing was all around improving people's health and well-being. So about 7 years ago, we made a decision to sort of almost rebrand ourselves as a mental health theatre company. Now that also comes from Ali and my lived experience of poor mental health, very different stories, but that experience influences the work we do. So we are all about working with people that have either lived in personal experience of poor mental health, or people that want to know more or want to help other people as well with their mental health. And that sort of underpins the vision that we have at Fluid Motion moving forward now. So we rebranded ourselves about 5-6 years ago, and we also developed the All in the Mind Festival. Now, the All in the Mind Festival is an annual outdoor arts festival that we run in Basingstoke, which is now the UK's leading mental health outdoor arts festival. And it's a place where anyone can come along to engage in a really fun, friendly day out. And people get the opportunity to see lots and lots of artists performing across all genres: music, dance, theatre, spoken word, visual arts. And all the topics are mental health, really. That's what the festival is about. So it empowers people to talk about their mental health through art and performance, but it's also a great day out for people where they can come and just relax and be in a safe, enjoyable environment. So that's the festival, and that's now in its we're in 6th year now of the festival. In addition to that, we create professional performance on a range of mental health themes. So Ali's performed in a piece of theatre about her own lived experience. She's also performed in a piece of theatre about my own lived experience, which I also performed in. And that sort of professional theatre work we do is all about really raising awareness of mental health issues, specific mental health issues. Ali might want to talk about her piece Wet and what that was about, but mine was about growing up with a parent addicted to alcohol, and we toured that around sort of the southeast back in 2016-17 now, and it got nominated for an award and various other things. Ali, I don't know if you want to chip in there with what Wet's about and sort of how that what our professional performance making is. You're still on mute. Someone was going to be on mute today.
Does that work? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So my show Wet was about my experiences of living with my husband's attempted suicide, and the impact that had on my 3 children and myself, obviously, about how that impacts on our identities and how we all survived those years. And 16 years later, although he's left with a profound brain injury and has to live in 24-hour care, he is still with us, and so it was navigating some of that territory, and it was only ever a scratch piece because unfortunately lockdown hit as we were just about to start developing the piece even further. But yes, as Lee said, our work is always informed by people's lived experiences, and in this case it's been people within the company, but we've got some exciting work coming up which will involve lived experiences of the general public generally, so everyone's has a story somewhere. So thank you, Lee. Lee, did you have more to say?
Talk about the next 3 years, actually, if you wanted me to.
Yes, you carry on.
So our 3-year program plan, which is part of why we are recruiting new trustees to the board as well, is to sort of develop and to grow Fluid Motion as a nationally renowned arts organisation that works around arts and well-being. That's how we position ourselves. So the next 3 years is all about helping our communities recover really from the COVID pandemic. It was always going to be about resilience. That was always going to be a theme, but obviously COVID hit as we were developing what the 3 years would look like. So that now really informs the work we do, and it's sort of in 4 stages. And it's really exciting because today we had some news that we can fund the whole of this program. So we are really excited about what the first year involves. So from May this year, we will go into secondary schools across the southeast on what's called the Recovery Project. That project is all about working directly with young people between 11 and 16, helping them build skills and develop resilience and coping mechanisms that they may have lost or that may have suffered due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And that project is through a series of workshops led by professional workshop leaders and practitioners. And there's also some sort of resources alongside that about how to have creative conversations with young people and how to have difficult conversations with young people through performance or through arts and cultural activity. The second half of the project that begins in June is the Gathering Project, which is working with 10 communities across Hampshire. Going into those communities, having some workshop sessions all about resilience again, around 4 themes: coping, isolation, loss and emergence, not in that order, but those are the 4 themes. And really sort of embedding ourselves within local communities, working with mental health partners and the local authorities, so working with Hampshire County Council directly, their mental health teams, and also local Mind charities, so Andover and Solent Mind, who will be partnering with us on that. We're also partnering with the New Forest National Park on exploring how we can facilitate some of that project in outdoor spaces, which improves our health and well-being. The second half of that Gathering Project is participants take part in 4 workshops like the young people would do on the Recovery Project, and then they get the opportunity to create a self-care pack. So all the stuff that they've learned in the 4 workshops, the adult participants, they then work with us and Hampshire County Council to create a self-care pack, which could be a physical pack, or it could be an audio book, or it could be a piece of music or a piece of voiceover. And the idea is that what have people learned from this project? What can they now give to the wider community? The third part of Resilience as a whole yearly programme is the creation of 2 professional outdoor plays. Now, these 2 plays will be based on the material we gather from the first 2 parts. So the young people's recovery project material that we've gathered, all of those experiences from the young people that they've told us, all the ideas that they've come up with, and also similarly the adult gathering project material, that will be given to a professional creative team, set designer, costume designer, professional actors and director, to create 2 outdoor performances about young people's experience and in the local community's experience of resilience over the COVID-19 pandemic. And finally, all of that work gets premiered and performed at our annual All in the Mind Festival, which will take place on Saturday, the 11th of September this year, as a sort of celebration of all of the work over the year. And everyone can come and just have a really great time and share in that creative experience that we've all gone on in the whole of our first year. So I'm really excited about it. It's a lot of work, and we hope that new trustees can come on board that have experience and skills that we currently don't have, that can help us push us forward and get excited with us about the year ahead.
Fantastic, thank you, Lee. So I should have introduced us all first, so apologies for that. But we are joined today by Lee Johnstone, our Artistic Director, who's just spoken. Myself, I'm Ali Gill, and I'm the Executive Director of Fluid Motion. And we're joined by Liz Sparks, who is one of the trustees of Fluid Motion. And Liz is going to have a chat with us in a little while. But before we speak to Liz, I thought it was important that we just talk for a moment about what being a trustee would involve. I think most important to remember is that a trustee of a charity is effectively a servant to that charity. They share responsibilities for the actions and the decisions that are made within the company. And so with that level of responsibility, it's really important that they understand what's involved and what the commitment will be. So we've created a trustee pack, which is downloadable from our website, which gives quite a comprehensive overview of what a trustee's roles and responsibilities are. And obviously you can either download from the website or you can email me, ali@fluidmotiontheatre.com, and I will happily send a trustee pack out to you. In addition, there is a wealth of information on the Charities Commission's website. And so some really important documents there. And again, I have access to quite a lot of those documents in PDF form. So we'll happily share those with anybody if they would like further information. Very, very briefly, because obviously this is just brief in the time frame of what is a trustee. The commitment that we would be asking somebody for would be to attend at 4 board meetings a year. Now, the board meetings currently at the moment are taking place online. It is hoped that one day we will all be able to mix again and we'll be able to hold them in person. But they normally last up to a maximum of an hour and a half. So the time commitment there is that we would expect you're issued with board papers prior to the meeting, a week or so, minimum of a week beforehand, which gives financial information about the company, an overview from myself about the financial status of the company, and a board paper from Lee about the artistic elements. And you need to have time to obviously read those documents, make notes, look at them, look at the risk maps, etc., that are accompany that information. And then that's discussed at the board meeting. So attendance is very important there. In addition to that commitment, so that's 4 meetings a year of about an hour and a half, plus maybe an hour or two to absorb the information that we've sent you the week previously. So in addition to that, we ask that our trustees attend some of our work. Now, we don't expect you to attend everything, but obviously you are invited to come along to all of our work. And we actively encourage that. And we love our trustees to see what we're doing, because how can you advocate for the company and feel confident and comfortable in what you're supporting if you don't know what it is we're doing? So please, trustees must be aware that they need to come along maybe to the festival one year, or to come and watch some of our workshops in action. And I can, as I said, I can send all of this information to you in email content, or you can phone me if you wish. My phone number is on the website, but it's 07784 316 731. And again, my email address is ali@fluidmotiontheatre.com. So I've given you all the sort of the logistical element of it in very, very brief form. And I think it would be really nice now to listen to what Liz has to say about being actually a trustee on the for Fluid Motion. So Liz, over to you.
Oh, thank you, Ali. So yeah, as Ali said, I'm Liz, and I'm really proud to be involved with Fluid Motion as a trustee. I joined about a year ago now, at the very beginning of lockdown, so I've got to know Ali and Lee very well over Zoom, which is an interesting start. Fluid Motion is in a great place, and is a great company. As Lee explained, it's got a very, very comprehensive plan going forward for the next few years, delivering a series of projects in the community, including in schools, helping people with their mental health, which, as we all know, is really, really at crisis point at the moment, coming out of the pandemic. So really important work they're doing there. we're looking for trustees to help us. So we need trustees with a financial background, education experience, and charity or voluntary sector experience. That would be great. We could really do with some help as the company's growing so fast now, and they've got a huge amount of work on their plates. So anyone that could help us out with those particular skill sets would be really great to hear from you. As a trustee, I see my role, as Ali explained, very much attending the board meetings and helping out, but I'm really looking forward to getting involved in some of the work that they're doing this year, now that we can all start to go back into schools and do the projects in the community. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And I just wanted to say, really, they're a great organisation. They're super committed to everything that they do, and it's a real honour to be involved with Ali and Lee. So yeah, if you have any questions, please do give me a call. Ali's got all my details, and I'll be happy to have a chat with you.
There we go. I've unmuted. Thank you, Liz. Thank you very much for that.
People wanted to know potentially what the legal ramifications were, because that's something that maybe comes up quite often when we ask for new trustees. So I don't know if you wanted Ali to say a bit about actually I mean, you've got insurance in place now, haven't you, for trustees?
Yes, we have. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Ali, you're probably better to explain the legal bit of that.
Yeah. So as part of the process, obviously what we're asking for people initially is come to us and ask us questions. Give us an indication perhaps that you're interested. If you would like to formally apply, we're asking for your CV and a letter of introduction as to who you are and why you'd be interested in working with us and joining us. And then if you decide that you definitely want to do this, we invite you to come to one of our board meetings, and you get an opportunity to sit on the board as an observer, watch the others in action, and see what actually happens at a board meeting. And then if you want to go to the next level and you definitely do want to commit to this, I need then some documents from you that prove your identity, who you are, and we have to go through a series of due diligence checks that happen in conjunction with the Charities Commission, just to make sure that you haven't perhaps been bankrupt in the past, or whether you potentially have been banned from being on a board previously as a trustee. And then once those checks have been done, if everything comes back fine, then we invite you to officially join the board. And at that point, you sign up as a legal director of Fluid Motion Theatre Company. And that's registered with both Companies House and with the Charities Commission. So it is a legal obligation, so it shouldn't be entered into lightheartedly. But we are here to fully give you all the information that you need before you make that commitment, and to get you, it could be that you just start by getting involved in the work that we do and asking us questions and finding out a bit more, and then, as I say, attending, speaking with the trustees, and then we can take it more formally from there onwards. So I think, has anybody got anything else that they'd like to add? Have we missed anything?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that you have supported us in training as well, about the role of the trustee, which has really been really useful. So yeah, to try and if you do have any concerns about joining and what it means, you're wholeheartedly supporting people in understanding exactly what that means, so that shouldn't be too much of a concern.
Thank you, Liz. Yeah, I forgot about that actually, that there is we can offer training alongside this, and it's delivered by outside companies. So it's not just ourselves that will give you the training, although you'll get both. You'll get in-house training, and we can look at getting you some external training with some bigger companies. So yes, absolutely. Thank you, Liz, for signposting that. Lee, what would you like to say?
I think it's worth saying as well that obviously the board we're trying to develop and create, really for us, needs to be a diverse board, because it needs to be reflective of the communities in which we work, and you know, we're striving to make sure that we are committed to diversity at all levels of the organisation. So you know, I think if people are, you know, do come and have a chat with us, or a call, or just come and ask questions and come and maybe observe a meeting, we really want to hear from everyone. And whilst we do have 3 specific roles, we're also looking to hear from, you know, if anyone wants to just pop us an email and go, do you know what, I don't quite fit into that, but I've got this experience which I think could be quite useful for you, then we're willing to hear from you as well.
Absolutely, that's very true, Lee. I think it's important to note that what we're looking for is, yes, it's not necessarily pigeonholed people. What we're looking for is somebody with a passion for the arts, someone who's passionate about supporting good mental health, and somebody that is willing to give up a bit of their time and support us. So if you have any skills, and as Lee said, we're looking for anybody to join us, and we really do. It's very, very important that we represent a diverse community, because we work with a diverse community of people. We need a diverse board to support us moving forward into the future. So I think that's probably all there is to say at the moment, without completely overwhelming and swamping people. So just to reiterate once again, you'll probably be sick of the sound of my email, but my email is ali@fluidmotiontheatre.com. And if you have any questions at all, please email me, and I will happily put you in touch with, if they're more personal questions that need to be perhaps addressed by the board, then I will happily put you in touch with one of the trustees, and pass your information on. So, you know, please do contact me, and let's start a conversation about this. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Lee.